We was on the bottom, yeah. We was on the bottom, yeah. Now we headed to the top, new level. On my level, don't see anybody, I don't see him. This right here could never stop, this could never stop. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. One time. Ay, I live on the job, right? Yeah, I'm always at work, right? Real people stay by me, right? Haters wanna do hurt, right? Know they trying to stop me, right? Drag my name through dirt, right? I don't feed into the hate, right? I just answer with a smirk. I
got a question. Here's my question. I'm waiting until he come over. But while he's coming over, bring that scripture out. Go back to Deuteronomy 28, my fault.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
How you doing, bro?
It's D.
What's your name?
D.
D? All right, D. I'm Basayo. Nice to meet you, man. So I got a question for you, bro. You live around here in Riviera, right? You see what goes on, right? What goes on in Riviera? What goes on in this neighborhood? Can you tell me? Like, as far, is it a good neighborhood? Is it a bad neighborhood? It's dangerous. How? What makes it dangerous? The people. What else? Is it what goes on in the neighborhoods that makes it dangerous? The shooting. What else? The drugs, gang banging, the robbing. All of that goes hand in hand with the shooting, right? But let me ask a question. When you go over, you ever been to the other side of town where so-called white people live? Almost close to there. There's a part of Riviera Beach where mostly white people live. You ever been to that part? Over the bridge. You ever been over the bridge over there? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So how come all those things you just named, are those things happening in those neighborhoods?
Bring it out.
Why? Why is it only in the hood, in the trap, where black people live that you got gang banging, you got shooting, you got drugs, you got people dying, you got single parent households? Do you ever wonder why does it only happen in the hood? Why not in the suburbs? Let me ask you something, bro. Where's your father? What's your father's race? He black. So would he be considered a black African American? Right? So right here, if you look on this sign, according to the Bible, there's no such thing as black. Think about it. Look at my pants. What color are my pants? There's black. Are you black? You're not. You're a shade of brown. So according to the Bible, you are from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You're an Israelite, but the world calls you black. Black is just a color in the crayon box. Right. That's what we're out here to teach our people. We're here to teach our people that we are God's chosen people.
That's right.
And the reason everything you just named, the gangbanging, the shooting, etc., the reason those things are happening is because we broke God's commandments.
Right.
You believe in the Bible? Let me show you something in the Bible. Tell me if you go to church? No, you never been to church? I'm going to show you this. Tell me if you ever heard this in your life. You tell me who the Bible is talking about. Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 45.
Bring it out. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses.
You ever read the Bible before? Never?
I heard scriptures out of it.
You heard scriptures out of it. All right, you ever heard about how Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt? How he delivered them, right? So right here, Moses is telling them, after he delivers them out of Egypt, they're making a contract between God. They say there's things you can and you can't do. And we're going to go over the things that if you can't do, there's consequences. Listen to this. Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
So it says curses. Is a curse a good or a bad thing? It's bad, right? Read.
And shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
So it says these curses, no matter where you're running, no matter where you are, they're going to be on you. They're going to pursue you. But let's see the reason why. Keep reading.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it says because we didn't want to listen to God. Read.
To keep his commandment.
To keep his commandment. Do you know a commandment? No, just name me one off the top of your head. Yeah, one commandment. Thou shalt not kill. There you go. It says thou shalt not kill. Keep that in mind. Read.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee.
So now it's talking about the day. So these curses are going to be upon you. Read.
For a sign.
It says for a sign. What does a sign do for you? Yeah, a sign. Like for it what? It notifies you. I like that. Right. A sign notifies you, or it shows you or points you in a direction that you need to go. Right? So just like the curses are going to be a sign on the Israelites, but a sign for what? Read.
For a sign and for a wonder.
It says for a wonder. When you see the Israelites, you're going to wonder, damn, how come only these things are happening to these people?
Right.
We're going to get more specific though. Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
So that means they're generational. As long as you keep having kids, these curses are going to be upon you. Now, about what you said earlier, when I asked you, when you look around this city, what condition do you see? What things are happening? Let's see what would happen to the Israelites living in those cities. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
God says, because the Israelites didn't listen to me, they didn't do my commandments, bad things will happen to them while they're living in cities. We live in the ghetto, right? We live in the ghetto, right? Why do bad things only happen to black people in the ghetto?
Bring it out.
Think about it, bro. You saw what happened to bad environment. Okay, and in those environments, what happens? You listed them earlier. Crime. Black on black crime. Right. If you go to the suburbs, you never see white on white crime. But God says the Israelites will be cursed in the city.
Right.
It didn't say black people. It said Israelites.
Right.
Read it again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
It says, cursed shalt thou be in the city. Only in black neighborhoods do you hear boys talking about, hey, I'm about to hit a lick, man. Only in black communities, bro. That's the only way to see them. Only in black communities you see them riding on motorcycles. What are they gonna go do? Most of the time they come in the neighborhoods, they say, hey, bro, I gotta get this money, bro. I gotta sling something. I gotta eat. All right? Now read the next part. You tell me who this is talking about.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
In the what?
In the field.
Didn't so-called black people go into slavery picking cotton? In the cotton field?
Bring it out.
Read that again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So God says the Israelites will be not only cursed in the city, but cursed in the field. I want you to see this. I want you to look at this. Where's that picture at? Right here. What? You see this picture right here? What are they doing right here? What do it look like they're doing right here? Describe it to me. They're picking cotton, right? Read it again.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
It says that the Israelites will be cursed in the field. But wait a minute. Weren't blacks, African Americans picking cotton in the cotton field?
Right, bring it out.
What about the tobacco field? The sugarcane field? That happened to the so-called Hispanics as well. I'm going to show you another thing. Give me verse 48 now.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy.
So God said, those same people, the Israelites, remember that. The Israelites would serve their enemies. Which race of people put black people in slavery?
Bring it out.
White people, right? Europeans, Caucasians. Right here. Keep reading.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So God said he would send them against us because remember, the Israelites broke God's commandments before. Right. This is a punishment, bro.
Right.
This isn't something nice. And this happened. This is actual history.
Right.
But it's documented in the Bible first and foremost. Keep reading.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
So it says in hunger and thirst and in nakedness. Didn't the slaves have to depend on their slave master for food?
Right.
What about water?
Right.
What about where did they get the clothes from their back?
Bring it out.
I'm gonna hit you up with something real. Let's take it up to today. I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to answer it as best as you can. Do you think black people today are still in slavery? You think so? Why you say yes? Okay, we get stereotyped. That's a part of it.
Right.
What else? Think about what I just said. Remember, when we were in shackles and chains, we had to get food from our slave master, we had to get water from them, and we had to get clothes from them. So how do we do that today? Say it again? We're dependent.
Right.
But I thought we were independent.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
I thought we had a couple black people that were rich. We kind of good.
Right.
How are we independent?
Bring it up.
I want you to think. I want you to see it, bro, because we got to wake up, bro.
Right. Right.
Do you know how? I'm going to tell you how. Think about it, bro. Where'd you just came from to buy that? You came from the store, right? That same store, it's in the hood, right? Do black people own that store?
Bring it up.
No. Who owns it? A white person.
Right.
So you have to go to your same enemies that the Bible just said to get food, bro.
Right.
And what you got? You got a drink in there too? Read that scripture again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
It says in thirst. You about to open that thing and drink it because you thirsty, huh? But who did you get that from?
Bring it out.
It wasn't from Tyrone down the block manufacturing it. It was the other nations, so-called white man.
Right.
And not just them. If you go to a gas station, if you have to get gas, to go to work to the same people that enslave you, those are your enemies, bro.
Right.
Read the next part.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Those clothes on your back. You're lucky to have those clothes, right? Who you got those clothes from, though? What does it say on the tag? Made in where? Made in Pakistan.
Right.
How come it's not made by your own people?
Right.
Because you said before, we're what? We're dependent on them, bro. That lets you know. That lets you know that we don't own anything as a people.
Right.
Because God says these things will happen to the Israelites. So if God says this will happen to the Israelites, and this is happening to so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people,
right,
who are we then, according to the Bible? Who are we? Like I said before, you said your father was what? He was so-called American black, right? But according to the Bible, since your father is from the tribe of Judah, you would be a Judite, according to the Bible.
Right. Right.
That's the same tribe Christ come from. You literally have the same blood as the greatest man who ever walked the earth running through your veins.
Right.
And they're not going to tell you that, bro. They're not going to tell you that Jesus Christ looked just like everybody up here.
Right.
I'm going to read this historical book to you, bro.
Now you got to finish up 48.
Bring it on.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the Willie Lynch letter. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control them.
Hold on. If you don't know who Willie Lynch is, Willie Lynch was a slave master who made different tactics on how to keep slaves destroyed,
right,
and how to keep them slaves.
Right. Right.
And this is a letter he wrote, and then it turned into a book. So listen to this. Read.
Use them. Have your wives and your children use them.
So it says, use them. Have your wives and your children use them. Like how you see the white man be shooting us down, the white woman is in cahoots with the white man.
Right.
Because then the so-called white woman called the cops on the so-called black family for having a barbecue.
Right.
It says, you, your wives, and your what?
And your children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensively for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen.
It says the slaves will remain perpetually distrustful. It says don't ever waste the opportunity to use these tactics. Now we're gonna jump and we're gonna read what some of these tactics are, and you tell me if you recognize the same tactics today.
Right. Bring it up. Bring it
I
up.
have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
It says fear, distrust, and envy. Every time you in the block, don't you hear so-called black people say, "Hey, bro, this is my block.
Right.
This is my hood."
Right.
And then they shoot each other.
Right.
But who owns the block? Who owns the city of Riviera?
Right.
It ain't us.
Bring it out.
But that's one of the tactics they use. They say use distrust and envy, make them hate each other.
Right.
Make them crip, make them blood.
Right.
Make them light skin, make them dark skin.
Right.
Keep reading.
These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take these simple little lists of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age.
It says age. It says age. You know how when an older so-called black man tries to talk to a younger man, what does he do most of the time? What does he do? If an older dude try to put you on some game and say, hey bro, this is what you need to do in life to be successful, to get out the hood. Most of the time, what does the younger generation do? Okay, sometimes, but most of the time, they don't listen.
Right.
And that's the difference right there. We think the older generation, man, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro.
Right.
I'm gonna do me. I live in these streets.
Right.
That's one attack. That's one tactic. Read.
On top of my list is age, but there is only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade.
Hold up. It said the second is color or shade.
Bring it out.
At one point, wasn't there this thing? There was like this fight between light-skinned and dark-skinned black men.
Black woman.
Light-skinned and dark-skinned women. It says color, but we're the same people. Why the hell am I fighting over skin color?
Right.
We're in the same condition.
Right.
We live in the same hood.
Right.
Light or dark, we both get shot by police.
Right.
Think about it, bro. But we're fighting amongst ourselves about skin color, bro.
Right.
Skin color.
Color.
Keep reading.
There is intelligence, size, sex.
Intelligence, size, sex. Think about it, bro.
Dive into that.
I'm gonna start with the size, bro. I'm gonna tell you about me. I used to play football. If they were to see me and they were to see him, they would have boosted my head up and then they would have brought that brother down just because he's smaller than me.
Right.
Look at the NFL. Don't you see? They say, oh, you gotta be a big, strong Negro if you want to play for me. Right? What was the other thing? Read.
There is intelligence, size, sex.
It says sex. Do we have, most of the time when you see black kids, most of the time, do they have single parents or both parents in the house? Single, right?
That's right.
That's what happened. They gave the so-called black woman, they gave her what? Government assistance,
Right.
and they told her, kick them out. Now you got the black woman fighting with the black man. Right? Go back to Deuteronomy 28. But I'm just showing you, this book is backing up the Bible. The Bible said it first, bro. This is our history book.
Right.
That's what you need to understand. We are not black people.
Right.
We're not African. We're not Jamaican. We're not Haitian.
Right.
Those are the names that were given to us during slavery. And now we're proud of them.
Verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So I don't want you to forget. We were serving the so-called, the sign right here. We were serving the so-called white man. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
It says anything you need, you have to go to the other race of people.
Right.
Outside the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the Israelites.
That's right.
You have to go to them. If you want anything, bro, if you want a driver license, who you got to go to? If you want a car, if you want a bank loan, if you want a birth certificate, if you want an education, and what do they teach you in school? That y'all history started with slavery, nothing more. That's all y'all are. Y'all just some slaves and we civilized y'all. That's what they teach us. But that's not true. The Bible says we are the greatest people to ever walk this earth.
That's right.
But the reason it doesn't look that way is because we broke God's commandments.
Right.
And then we started calling ourselves black, Hispanic, Jamaican, African American. Finish that up.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
It says until you have destroyed us. We're so destroyed now that we go to church and we bow down to a white Jesus. Do you think Jesus looks like that according to the Bible? Because remember I said, you're the same blood that's running through your veins is the same blood that's running through Christ. He was an Israelite according to the Bible.
Right.
From the tribe of Judah, the same tribe as you.
Right.
I'm going to show you that. Hold that right quick. Give me Revelations. Because this is the main thing that's destroying our people.
Right.
This is where the low self-esteem comes from. This is where I want the white man to love us, to help us, because Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, we would not be shooting each other the way we do, bro. I don't be selling drugs to you. Right. Because if we do this right here, everything that will be put to stop. Right. Watch this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So right here it's talking about Jesus Christ. It said the head on his hair and the hair on his face was white like wool. You know what texture wool is? Like cotton, right? Well, who are the only people who have hair that look like cotton?
Bring it out.
Damn, me and you, exactly, bro.
Right.
But how come in the church they show us a white man with long stringy hair?
Right. Bring it out.
But the Bible just said his hair looks like what?
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Jesus Christ is not a white man, bro. Don't let them lie to you, bro. He looks just like those same dreads you got on your hair, bro. He got the same hair texture, bro.
Right.
That should make you feel proud, because we are God's chosen people.
That's right.
Think about it. If they say the Jews are white and Jesus Christ looked like them, but then we just read Jesus Christ was a so-called black man, then who are his people?
Right.
Who is it? Who is his people?
Bring it out.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's us, bro.
That's right.
We are the real Jews.
That's right. That's right.
Keep reading.
As white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire.
It says his eyes was a flame of fire because he drank a lot of wine, but in moderation. He never got drunk. Read.
And his feet.
It says his feet. If you look at your feet, does your feet match the rest of the texture of your legs, your thighs, your hands, your face? Is it similar in complexion? It's similar, right? So let's see what color Jesus Christ was. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
It says fine brass. What color is brass? Brown.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't get a white man out of that, bro.
Right.
You cannot get a white man out of that, bro.
Finish it out.
But then listen to this part. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Jesus Christ was a dark-skinned brother.
Right.
He was not white.
Right.
Don't let these people lie to you, bro.
That's right.
We need to open up this Bible and learn our history, bro.
Right.
This Bible is for Israelites.
Right.
To the Israelites. It was written by the Israelites. Your forefathers that look like me and you, bro. So I'm going to ask you again, bro. What is your nationality? What's your race according to the Bible?
Bring it up.
Your what? What does it say? Can you see it? It's Judah.
That's right.
Judah.
Right.
You're Israel. You're from the nation of Israel, from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Just like Christ is. Right. Just like Christ, bro. Now go back to Deuteronomy.
Bring it out.
Give me 7 and 6, because what we need to. The other thing I need to show you is that they'll never teach you how great you are, bro.
Right.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, so you're 19. Okay, so you're 19, right? You went to school? You went to school, right? Have they ever taught you about your history other than slavery and colonization?
Babylon to Timbuktu.
Have they ever taught you that? They taught you that you were more than just a slave when you were brought here in 1619.
Mosquitoes, right?
They taught you more than that?
Mosquitoes, right?
No, they didn't, right? Why do you think? You don't know? I'm going to show you why. Read Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This is what God says. This is the reason they will never teach us who we truly are, bro.
Right.
And this is what scares them. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it up.
For thou art an holy people.
The Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, God says you're holy. Do you know what it means to be holy? What does it mean to be holy? Like you're what? You're pure. That's one form of it. Holy it means to be separate. Like if you got a favorite pair of shoes that you have? Like you got a favorite pair of shoes, right? You like them more than the other bunch of other shoes in your closet. That one right there is separate from the rest. That's how God feels about us, the Israelites.
Right.
Read the rest of the verse.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Notice how I keep saying the Lord thy God. That's possessive. We're the only ones who has a God, bro.
Right.
Think about it. The white man got a God that look like him.
Right.
The Chinese man got a God that look like him.
Right.
East Indians got a God that look like them.
Right.
Japanese got one. But for some reason, so-called black people have a God that look like white people.
See?
Why?
This is smaller boy.
And guess what? All the other gods I just named, they're just idols. They don't exist.
Right.
And God is real, bro. You know how God is real? Because he said we were going to slavery, and guess what? Didn't it happen?
Princes, governors.
Exactly, bro. Keep reading.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
Now we're equal.
Above all people.
Now we're below.
Above all people.
What did God just say? We're what? We're above all people.
That's right.
What does it mean if somebody is above all people? Yes.
Right.
And who else? And who else? There you go.
Right.
We are the Israelites, bro.
That's right.
That's what he's talking about. He says we're above all people.
Right.
Think about it, bro. Why do you think we're the fastest?
Right.
We're the strongest.
Right.
We're the smartest.
Right.
Why do you think even after slavery, when they made a law for us not to read, we still was inventing stuff? Bro, everything you see was made by us, bro.
Right.
The street light, that was invented by a so-called black man.
Right.
The bike was invented by a so-called black man.
Right.
Everything they use was invented by us, but they say, oh, no, you're just 3/5 of a man.
Right.
I'm going to bring out some history for you to show you they knew who they were coming to get when they went to the west coast of Africa. We weren't slaves. We weren't uncivilized.
Right.
Watch this. Read that.
From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 90. The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribe.
So that also lets you know we're not the same as African people in Africa.
Right.
There's some of us are still over there, but we're not all the same. There's different countries in Africa. All right? Listen to this.
They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
So we had a culture, we had history, bro. We had history. Like I said, our history didn't start with just slavery.
Right.
Read.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were industrial and skillful people.
Like I said, brother, we're the smartest. We're the fastest. Read.
In the Guyanese states, there were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, armor bearers, stadlers, blacksmiths, and etc.
You see, all those great things was us.
Right.
And it can be, but we got to start keeping the we got to start keeping the commandments, bro.
Right.
It says we had governors, we had kings.
Right.
Aren't black people always the ones saying, I'm a king? But if God says we're above all people, how come it doesn't look like that today?
Right.
Do you remember why? Why did God say we would be at the bottom? You got hatred? Okay, that's one thing, but remember what God said. Go back to it. Go back to verse 15. I'm going to show you what God says. Even though you're the best of the best, I'm going to make you go on the bottom. Watch, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God says, this is a future prophecy. God says, yo, this is going to happen to you in the future. If you don't listen to me, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
If you don't do the commandments, if you don't put forth action, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
These what?
These curses.
It says these curses. And earlier I asked you, was a curse a good or a bad thing? And you said what? It was bad. So God says, yo, I'm telling you, if you don't do what I say, bad things are going to happen to you. And let's see one of those bad things. Keep reading.
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So God says you will be cursed in the city. Who's at the bottom in every city, every state, bro? What race of people?
Bring it up.
Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans.
Right.
Don't just say blacks, because this is happening to so-called Hispanics too.
Right.
They're also from the 12 tribes of Israel. Why they're in immigration camps and they're sleeping on tinfoil, bro?
Right.
In cages like animals.
Right.
The Native Americans, this land was for them first.
Right.
But the white man came over here and slaughtered millions of them.
Right.
Just like black people. That's what God says. We will be at the bottom because we wouldn't keep his commandments, bro.
Used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.